All right, welcome back to AI content creation. Today we're going to be writing a science fiction book using only ChatGPT. So let's get started. So one of the first commands that I'm going to give it, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit for you. All right, we'll zoom in to about right there. That way you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, we're going to go in here and I'm going to come up with my first command right here, which is, let's just say something like, let's write a science fiction story together. So if you start off writing with ChatGPT, like they're like a real person, right? They're an assistant. They're going to help you write the story. I find that you get better content when you kind of pre-talk about it, pre-prompt it, instead of just saying, write a 30-chapter book on this, boom, and then, ChatGPT will go ahead and start doing that. But I think that you'll get better results when you kind of pre-talk about exactly what you're looking for. You'll get better results. And that really kind of applies to almost everything you're doing with ChatGPT. I'm going to say, ask me for input about characters, plot, etc. Okay, so I'm going to push enter right there and see what's going on. Great, let's start with the setting. Where do you envision this story taking place? Is it on Earth or another planet? Is it set in the future or a different time period? Okay, so let's just say set in the future on another planet in another galaxy far from Earth. And right here, if you're not creative or you don't have any thoughts or anything, you can just say, you suggest. So let's make the protagonist a human astronaut named Maya, who's been sent on a mission to explore this new planet. Maya, because that's pretty creative right there. And Maya is an experienced astronaut and scientist who has always been fascinated by space exploration. Her goal is to gather as much data as possible about the planet's geology, atmosphere, and potential for sustaining life. She's motivated by a desire to uncover new knowledge and make groundbreaking discoveries. That's perfect. Okay, that is great. Now we need to create a conflict for the story. Suggest an interesting conflict that Maya will face on her journey. And push enter, right? How about Maya discovers that the planet is already inhabited by an alien species that has a very different culture and way of life from humans. At first, the aliens seem peaceful and curious about Maya, but as she continues to explore the planet, she discovers that they have a hidden agenda. The aliens are actually planning to invade Earth, and they see Maya's mission as a potential threat to their plan. Maya must navigate a dangerous and unfamiliar situation, balancing her desire to learn about the aliens with the need to protect Earth and prevent an intergalactic war. Okay, so we're really getting somewhere. For somebody that is not a creative writer, this is better than what they're going to be able to come up with. So really cool stuff. So now let's go with, we're going to start jumping in. I'm just going to say, okay, that sounds great. And then I'm going to say, I need a 30 chapter version, add characters and subplots. And here we go. So they're actually writing 30 chapters. First signs of conflict, Maya's growing curiosity. Maya discovers the aliens' hidden agenda. So we're into the conflict right there. Maya's internal conflict, Maya's growing distrust. The aliens reveal their plan, Maya's plan of action. And then looks like a new ally, the battle begins, a surprising twist, the desperate race, a sacrifice, the aftermath, a new threat, Maya's new mission, and then right here we're just going to say continue. So basically we've got ChatGPT is working their magic and doing what would have taken days just to get this outline of this book created. For somebody that's not a creative fiction writer, or, and more specifically a science fiction writer, this could have taken a week to do. And it probably wouldn't be as good because ChatGPT has so much information about so many different science fiction books that it's able to really gather from all that knowledge and just quickly, within seconds, come up with a 30-chapter outline book right here. So now what we can do is give it this last command. I've already pre-typed it, so you don't have to watch me type this. I'm going to throw this in right here, and it says, now let's start on chapter 1 and start writing a full chapter. Each chapter needs to be over 1,000 words in length. So create the first chapter and then stop and let me know you are done. Then we will start on the next chapter. So I don't know if we're going to get 1,000 words out of this or not. It's really hard to kind of get, even when you tell ChatGPT to write you 1,000 words, it doesn't really actually do that most of the time. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully the chapters can be at least 800 words or longer, and that will be great for our book. All right, so we're going to push enter and see what happens. So here we go. Chapter 1, Maya's arrival on the planet. I'm going to come back up here and look, and that is to make sure that that's the chapter. Maya's arrival on the planet, and she already has notes that she created for the chapter. So that's really good, and it is just going out and writing this. So definitely you want to read through the story to make sure that nothing crazy jumps out, something very rated R or something like that. I believe that ChatGPT has filters on it, but you still want to be careful. And then also, this is really cool. So we've gotten to a point right here where this first part, I'm going to zoom out now so we can see a little bit more. So I'm going to come back up right here. And I just want to see how many words are created so far. So we're at 600 words, and that's about how much content can be produced in one go. And that's why I'm really glad that they're not, ChatGPT is not done with chapter 1. And that's why we're able to push continue. Another awesome reason to have the this extension over here, let's see, the AIPRM for ChatGPT. It's a free extension. It allows you to also have this these buttons down here, and that's where this continue button comes from, and that's really cool. In just the standard ChatGPT, you'll end up having to type in continue and push enter, and right here, by having just this simple button, you can just say continue. And ChatGPT already knew what it wanted to say. So that's what we're going to get. We got about 650, 700 words out of that chapter. And that's the chapter, right? So now we can say begin chapter 2. And if you don't want to do it this way, I think this is a good way to not overload ChatGPT on doing 30 chapters and just continuing to go. I think that just focusing on one chapter at a time and letting ChatGPT stop every time gives you more control. But if you wanted it to just do this all in one go, you can also say, okay, now write all the rest of the chapters and push enter. And then ChatGPT will just continue writing, and you'll have to just sit here and just continue pushing the continue button. Right here, begin chapter 2. And we'll just say enter. And so ChatGPT, let's see right here. Okay, so begin chapter 2 right here. Oh, okay, there was a lot more text down there. So let's go, no. So I messed that part up right here. We needed to finish right here, but that's okay. We're just doing this as an example, but this is how much text in chapter 1 has already been created. We'll right click right there, boom. And we're at 1,266 words in that chapter, and ChatGPT wasn't even done. You can see right here, I needed to push continue again right here. So we can fix that part up. We can actually have that chapter, and we can just say continue that chapter later on. And we're right over here. So we really need to, when you're writing this much text, this is a good, this was a perfect natural example of what happened. You want to probably just be monitoring what's going on. This looks like a really good story. And you can give a lot more information, like you want a lot of dialogue, you want a lot of character development. You can really dive into the plot specifically on how you want it to go, right? So right here, it stopped right there. I don't know if the chapter's done or not. I'm going to go ahead and just say continue, and it wasn't done. So there we go. So we just keep pushing continue, and I believe that we'll see when it stops, when it's done with its chapter. Okay, so it ended right there. I'm just going to say continue. And it's just going to continue writing. It hasn't told us that it's done with the chapter or tried to move to the next chapter. So that part is interesting. We'd have to really read through this to see. I'm going to push continue. Okay, so what I did was it just kept going and kept going. So I had to kind of intervene right here, and I said, keep writing, but remember to let me know when you complete a chapter. And so it just jumped right into the chapter 4. So you'll have to read through that and see if it does come to a stopping point right there. And you can always take the chapter or take the last part of the chapter and say, hey, come up with a good ending to this chapter. You can start that in a new chat. There's all kinds of different ways that you can use ChatGPT. Looks like we're on chapter 4 right here. And we're going to just go say continue. And so that was a really short chapter, probably too short for a chapter in the book. So we would probably want to revisit right there, revisit that. So we're on chapter 5 right here and so forth. So you can see how it just continues to write for us, continue. And it's on chapter 6 right now. So it's not really writing. Let's go down here. It's writing about 400 word chapters at this point. Let's go over here and look at the words. So yeah, literally 282 words. So we'll have to jump in and fix that up right there. But as you can see, you're going to have a really nice chapter right here. And so what you can do is you could actually take this right here before going into the next part. Now you could just say focus on chapter 6 again. Remember to develop the chapter in great detail and to focus on writing at least 1,000 words in this chapter. So you could really come to a stopping point and let me know the chapter is over by saying finished chapter. Let's see if that works. Push enter. So it's going to go back and rewrite chapter 6. It's going to hopefully write more for us, and then it's going to let us know when it is done with this chapter. So as you can see, you want to do some customalities with this, see what's going to work best for you. And basically you just need to tell ChatGPT exactly what you want. And that was the prompting is going to get better. And look, ChatGPT let me know that they finished the chapter. And let's go and see if we're doing better on content length. And content length, we're at 500 words. So we did get somewhere. We could say, we could take this right here and you could focus on one chapter at a time, but we would say chapter 6, and you can just say, okay, thanks, but we need the chapter to be longer than what you just produced. Try again. Enter. And let's see what it comes up with for us. Okay, it should be coming to an end, but it's definitely writing a lot more. And then it did the finished chapter. And I like the finished chapter because that tells us, remember if we go back and watch chapter 1, I believe it just went on forever and it didn't ever say finished chapter. And we were probably getting thousands of words. So let's go back up. I think we did get a lot more improvement. You can tweak this as much, but we got 639 words right there. So you can continue doing that. And continue honing in and optimizing your prompts that you're prompting in order to get the ChatGPT to write as long as you want and as detailed and descriptive as you want. And then right here, you would just say, move on to next chapter. It's going to move right into chapter 7. And you're going to be able to grab this text, go throw it in a Word document, and you can literally create thousands, tens of thousands of words, books, using ChatGPT, and in some cases, it's going to write better than even humans. Now, you could, depending on how much time you want to put into this, but you could you read through all this and add a human touch to it in each chapter. You know, spend the time that would take months to write. Maybe it'll only take a week, and you can go into each chapter and add a little bit of human touch and so forth, or send it off to an editor to now edit this. Really cool stuff. Now you can create full-length chapter books on fiction. You could do nonfiction. and so forth. So hope that you got value from this video and on how you can use unique prompts in order to get books created for you and so forth. So make sure to subscribe to AI content creation, and I'll see you in the next video.